Good morning, my fellow long-suffering, misfortunate, martyred Americans. It's a dark and stormy night. It's a man-made storm. We can contribute this man-made storm to one person, the former vice president. Take a look at this headline from the Daily Mail. America goes back to the 1980s. Surging gas prices and higher rents push inflation to a 41-year high of 8.5% as White House blames it on Putin invading Ukraine. Of course, there was no inflation before the end of February, was there? It wasn't like the former vice president didn't have the welfare of U.S. citizens in mind. I'm sure he had the welfare of U.S. citizens in mind when he started blocking drilling in the United States and closed down the pipeline that would have brought us cheaper gas. I'm sure he had the welfare of U.S. citizens in mind. Well, when he signed all those spending bills that, he didn't have the money to pay for, was a little bit of temporary inflation. And I am sure he had the welfare of U.S. citizens in mind when he started sanctions against Russia and started calling for Putin to be prosecuted. I'm sure that, because he is filling the seat, he has assumed the position, he's doing what a good leader is doing. His foremost responsibility, looking out for the welfare of his fellow citizens. He wouldn't be doing any of this stuff just make it up as he's going. I'm sure he's got a master plan in mind. I just can't wait to see what it is. So far, his master plan has given us a 41-year high inflation rate of 8.5%. It's costing us everything. Gasoline, housing, food, anything you want, it's costing you more. Now, let's take a look at a few of these charts from the Daily Mail. The first one, look at that. 8.5%. We don't even have to say anything. I'm just shaking my head right now. Here is what that 8.5% inflation means to you and me as an average. Meat and poultry, 14%. Cereal, 9.2%. Gasoline, 49%. Airfares, 15%. Used cars, 35%. And here's how you know it's a British tabloid. Fruit and veg, 8.5%. Every single policy that Uncle Joe has pushed forward is costing the U.S. public. This tit-for-tat economic war that the former vice president has started with Russia is directly responsible for some of the latest price increases. Not all of them, not by any means. The greatest reason for these price increases is his over-the-top spending bills that is causing inflation. Now, the upcoming shortage of food and some of the future increases in oil, as some of the current increases in gasoline and oil, well, that is part of Uncle Joe's diplomatic failure. Instead of trying to work diplomatically with Russia, behind the scenes. He wanted to go all showboaty. Now, unfortunately, he hit a reef and sank that damn boat, but he tried, didn't he? There is a man that can fix these problems. Now, Uncle Joe has done nothing but suck on the government teat his entire life. He thinks in order to solve a problem caused by the government, well, the government just has to do more. President Trump believes that problems caused by the government, well, take government away. Remember President Trump's plan? He wouldn't sign new legislation unless we got rid of some of the old legislation. He wanted to decrease the government sticking its finger into our pie, not let the government use both hands to rip out larger and larger sections of that pie for itself. But hell, why am I even talking about pie? It's not like any of us can even afford it now.